Hello, everybody. Rob Cootie here. The MLM Solution today is Friday. Can you believe it? The 17th of daggone September. My gosh, we're over halfway through the month of September. Woo-wee. All right. That being said, today's episode, Freelance Friday, that is going to be number 71. Number 71. Can you believe that? It's hard to believe. We are going to be talking about anything and everything network marketing, as you know, on our Freelance Friday, which is our most popular episodes. In other words, our most popular podcast is going to be episode number 71. And we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly in our episodes. There's nothing off limits in regards to Freelance Friday and regarding network marketing and really life in general, because we talk about anything and everything, politics, personal life, world events, and of course, network marketing. You never know what you're going to get when it comes to Freelance Friday, and I think it's the reason why people like it so much. It's entertaining and it's surprising, and once again, you never know what subject matter we're going to pick up and run with. So don't miss this today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, as always. And if you will, help our fellow network marketers find our information, us on our platforms, our website, etc., by simply sharing our website address and the MLM Solution. You can see the ticker there for all you on the podcast, themlmsolution.net, themlmsolution.net. Our hashtag is hashtag themlmsolution. All right, guys, I'll see you here in a minute.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie and Marie Cannon.
Hello there, Miss Marie. Happy Friday.
It is Friday.
Right, yeah, it is.
Friday, happy
That's right.
Yeah.
Episode number 71. Believe it or not.
71.
71. That's right.
Well, if you think about it, if you take our Freelance Friday episodes and you add them on to our regular episodes, we're way beyond your magical 300. Did you realize that?
I know. I try not to think about it because I'll start going into celebration mode. So I'm trying not to do that. So you got anything planned special for the weekend?
This weekend, not really. Have a meeting with the church that I'm a part of. We're doing a state of the mission to kind of look at the past year, kind of make plans for the coming year. Mm-hmm. So that's some exciting stuff now that things are pretty much back to normal.
Yeah.
At least here in Utah. I know there are some areas of the country that are still in panic mode for whatever reason, but we're pretty normal here. So I have to say I'm quite grateful for that. So other than that, last weekend was a very busy and full weekend. So this weekend, fortunately, it's a little bit more low key, not a lot planned, just gonna take care of the life maintenance things and relax. How about yourself?
No, you know what? I don't have anything planned, to be honest with you. Not that I've been taking, as you know, I have multiple things going on, that you know, and I could work myself into an early grave if I'm not careful. So I have to take a step back. Obviously, I'm going to be doing business stuff, but instead of working like 12 hours a day on that stuff, I'll do like 7 hours, and then I'll go out and take the dogs for a walk and work in the yard and go with the wife to do things. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Little bit more balance going on is what it's
I have to. As you know, there's been some health issues with me for a long time now, and it just seems like it's one thing after another. And I think it's my body just saying, dude, you can't keep this up, and I better listen. And I'm sure you can relate to that.
Your body's rebelling. I mean, we're talking about a retired guy here working 12-hour days. But
yes.
Something's wrong with this picture.
Yes. I thank you. You're absolutely right. Believe it or not, the wife reminds me of it, as you can imagine.
I am sure she doesn't, and well, she should.
Yes. Yeah, she reminds me I am not a spring chicken anymore, and I need to cut back. And
Yeah, I'm not sure we're summer chickens even. So
well put, well put. I like that. Yeah, well, the thing is, I am listening, and that's a good thing, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to make some adjustments. I know I struggled with that. I had always wanted to. I grew up playing softball and all sorts of sports, but softball was like the big one. And I always thought, oh yeah, I'll play softball until I'm 50. That was kind of my goal. And I'm well beyond that mark, but I did end up retiring a couple of years shy of hitting the 50 age mark that I had set. And part of it was because it was getting to a point where my mind thought I could do all these things I always used to do.
Yeah.
And so I would attempt them. And after a while, my body's like, yeah, you know what? No. And it got to be just like a little bit too damaging, and part of it with, you think about it, especially where I grew up in Wisconsin, it's like you play softball with a beer in one hand and your glove in the other, right? So it's more of a recreation than it is a competitive sport, but I've got that competitive nature going on. And it gets to a point where, you don't think of softball as a tough game, but the problem with it it's like you're going from standing still to running as fast as you can in a split second, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it got to a point where my legs were like, yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore. And things started pulling and stretching and popping and and I couldn't dial it back. Like mentally, I was not able to dial it back. It's like, well, take it easy when you play. And it's just like, I can't. It's got to be kind of an all or nothing. So it's like, yeah, I got to hang up those cleats and call it good and find a different sport that isn't quite so mentally ingrained for me to play. So I've had a lot of people suggest playing golf, but I don't know. I know this is a point a lot of people like to argue. I don't really consider golf a sport. That's more of a pastime. And I haven't caught the bug of chasing a little white ball around the field. I mean, I don't remember who it was. Somebody famous once said, golf is just ruining a nice day's walk type.
Yes.
Thing. So
yes.
It's like, if I want to go for a walk, I'll go for a walk, or I'll go hiking. I don't need to, chase a little white ball around, because everybody I know that I've ever seen play golf, all I see is constant frustration. And it's just like that doesn't sound like fun to me. That doesn't, no, I'll pass. Although I have to admit, I do enjoy playing whack-a-ball. I like going to the driving range and just smacking the crap out of the ball. That's always fun. And I do enjoy playing putt-putt golf with the kids. So, I've got both ends of the golf spectrum. It's that middle game when you play actual golf that I really don't enjoy.
Well, you sound so much like me about golf. Now, let me say this. I despise baseball, and I played baseball. And people say, well, the reason you don't like it is because you weren't any good at it. I was an outstanding athlete, pretty much mastered. I don't care if it was tennis, soccer, you give it to me. The one thing I could not master was baseball. I get their point. I can understand what they're saying. But they're not me. I can search my heart. And the thing I don't like about baseball, which I used to love watching baseball and years ago, and NASCAR. But when I realized what I was doing, I was like, oh, this is not good. Not only was I wasting valuable time, I'll never get back on this earth watching somebody else play sport instead of getting out there doing it myself. But watching cars go around in a circle was not fun for me. I'd rather watch the roller derby. There was more action. You know what I'm saying?
Ice hockey. Ice hockey is another good one.
Yeah. I like ice hockey. And also the what's the one where the cars crash into each other? Demolition Derby?
Demolition Derby. Oh, my goodness. Those are a crack up.
There's real action there, okay? So here's the thing. NASCAR and IndyCar, which I loved. I never was a NASCAR fan, but IndyCar I used to love. Watched the Indianapolis 500 without fail. Anyway, the point is, I woke up and said, oh my gosh, I'm wasting 3-4 hours of my day watching cars go around in a circle. This is ridiculous. And that's when I got out and started actually becoming an athlete, because it was more fun to play than it was to watch, right? Would you not agree?
Oh yeah, I especially growing up, I could never watch baseball or basketball or any of that kind of stuff. I don't want to watch other people playing the sport. I'm going to go do it.
There you go. So when I got out there and played golf and baseball, I'm speaking from experience. The reason I wasn't any good at baseball, guys, because once I got out there, I realized how boring it was. Okay, if you have a great pitcher, Miss Marie, the chances of, you might have 6 or 8 hits in a game, okay, for one side.
From a defensive perspective.
Right.
You're not even talking offense. Offensively, if you get 3 or 4 hits in a game, you're doing good. But
so you get my point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's just say they get 1 hit an inning. That's 9 hits in a game. Okay. Now you might get 2 or 3 runs out of that. And a lot of people find that exciting. I don't. I could go out in right field, Miss Marie, take my lounge chair, put my feet up on my ottoman and read the newspaper and have my glove in my hand while I'm reading it. Because the chances of the ball coming to the right field is going to be pretty slim. Would you not agree?
Most of the time, statistically, yes.
Yes. And because I played baseball and softball and football and basketball, there were times where I got my fingers jammed, where the fingers swelled up so bad that you couldn't even hardly tell it was a finger. You couldn't wear a ring, and to touch it, you'd be like going through the roof. You know what, Miss Marie? I played anyway. I didn't sit around and pussyfoot about it. You know what professional athletes do? I can't play. I can't go out there. You play right field. You don't get any hits. I don't care. I can't go out there. Now, turf toe, that hurts. I totally get that. Turf toe really sucks. So I totally get that. But if you got a hurt pinky, give me a freaking break. Yeah. The only time it would be a problem is if you're the pitcher. Once again, been there, done that. If you have a hurt finger, you cannot control that ball. You'll be all over the place. I get that. So see, I'm not above giving people credit when credit's due, right? Mm-hmm. But most of the baseball players, I can't play today. You're being paid $1 million a game. I don't care. I can't play today. Football players, hockey players, you know what? Boxers, that is real men's sports right there. You talking about some of them hockey players shouldn't even be out there, and they're out there skating and knocking the crap out of each other. Football players, same way. Boxers, you know that, and extreme fighting, that's real men's sports, Miss Marie.
Yeah.
That's in the rock 'em, sock 'em type of crap. Played golf. Played one day, I used the Lord's name in vain, and I walked away. Never went back. That's how mad the game made me.
I tried one season. I had a friend of mine that tried to get me involved in it, and we went and we took some lessons and we golfed, and it's just like, I gave it a shot for a season, but it's like, pass. Not my thing. Not my thing.
No. I was pretty good at golf. I played golf for a while. Once again, I speak from where I come. And the reason I say that is because, I don't rub it in people's faces, but I remember I've had some tense arguments with some people. I said, look, that's your opinion. That's mine. Well, have you ever played it? Yes, I played it. I'll never forget. I was at, I won't say where, I was at a university and they were wanting more donations. Let me just say that without coming across as bragging, which I'm not, because we didn't know. We got a letter one day in the mail informing us that we had made the donation honor roll. You don't make the honor roll unless you donate a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you get your name up on a plaque in a certain building. We did not even know we had donated that. You know what? I just wrote a check and we went, to the games, blah, 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 right? So they were trying to raise money. And when they try to raise money, they invite you to all these events and they give you the VIP treatment. You know the story, right? Mm-hmm. And they give you're shadowed by, what they call them, student, they're seniors, and sometimes they're graduate students still in school. and they're shadowing you. In other words, if you want a beer, they're going to get you beer. If you have a question, you don't have to go anywhere. If you need to go to the bathroom, they'll go in there with you. You know what I'm saying? That was the type. And so you got the royal VIP treatment because they wanted your money, right? And so I told this one guy, I said, it was me, my business partner, and him, the guy that was our shadow. And we were invited to the athletic director's suite at a baseball game, the university's baseball game. And of course, you had all the food and blah, blah, blah. And we were talking about, and I said, look, I am not donating money to the football program because you got XYZ coach. And this was the coach's first year. I totally get, he wasn't even 4 games into his year. I ended up being right, but I told him at that time, I said, you hired the wrong person. I said, I've been out to the practices. I've seen the difference. I said, this guy's going to fall flat on his face, and I am not putting this kind of money behind this program. I'm not trying to penalize you guys. I'll donate, to the academic side, blah, blah, blah. And he turned and he looked, he got upset and he turned and looked at me and says, have you ever played football? Boy, it pissed me off. Once again, the reason I tell you the story is to come back, and I don't comment unless I played the sport. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm talking about. And with golf, Miss Marie, it was challenging. Every hit of the ball was challenging. You know that. You did it. But you know what? I'm like you. You sounded so much like me. I sat down one day and I said, why am I chasing a little white ball all through, and getting upset because I can't hit it right? That just seems really kind of stupid to me. So when you were telling your story about golf, I was like listening to myself. You used the same words. You had the same mindset. And I did watch Tiger Woods, and I went out to Valhalla when they had not the U.S. Open. Yeah, is it the U.S.?
Oh, I have no idea where they play the different.
No, the PGA Championship. That's what it is. I went out there. Guy's a phenomenal athlete. And yeah, you're right. Golf is a game. It's not a sport. Golf is definitely not a sport. Okay, golf is a game. So anyway, I went out there to watch him. He was talented.
I was going to say I tried something new recently that I think you'd enjoy. I don't know that it's necessarily a sport. It's probably more of a game, but
Tiddlywinks?
Axe throwing.
Oh, now I don't know if I could do that. I know exactly. That takes some real talent.
Well, I don't know that it takes talent. It definitely takes some, shoulder coordination, hand-eye coordination or whatever, but that was like way more fun than I thought it was going to be. I even told my husband I'd rather go do that than go out to the shooting range, especially at this point when ammo is so expensive, right? Because you pay for your time on the range to throw axes, and it's like you can throw as many times as you want. You just go pull it, out of the target and you do it again. So that was kind of cool. And it got me thinking, I wonder if they'd ever let us throw other sharp, pointy objects, like if they have a knife throwing, or I thought it would be really cool to throw like ninja stars.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The reason I'd say that is because I've watched that logging competition.
Yeah.
And that's some pretty serious shit. They got some sharp blades. They're using those chains. You could lose an arm or leg really quick.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, and I should be maybe a little bit more accurate. They call it axe throwing, but an axe is the long handle with the head, and these were really hatchets, so they were the short ones. You could throw the long ones if you wanted to, but yeah.
Well, the reason I bring that up is how you got to have some talent. In the competition. The competition is so keen. The difference between winning and losing in that axe throwing is pretty daggone small. They have 3 tries and you have to hit it, like a bullseye, like you do in a dart game. And man, those guys, they had a particular system, the way they stood, and they would do this, and time after time that thing would stick. It would take me 10 times to get it to get the blade to hit, much less to get it to stick. So I had great respect for their talent to do that. It took a lot of practice.
Yeah. Well, I have to say it took a minute to get the hang of it, but once you kind of get the motion and the the coordination of what you're supposed to be doing, you could be pretty consistent. But there were plenty of times that axe did not stick in the board.
That's my point exactly.
It went bonk and fell on the floor. So,
but once you learn how to release it, because it's all, once you have the knowledge of how to release it, because you're trying to get it to spin, because the weight of that head is what's carrying it.
Yeah.
And it's got to be straight. It can't be tilted, or because it'll hit the wrong angle. Once you learn how to do that and let that head carry that, like you said, I understood what I was trying to do. I just couldn't do it. So kudos to you for doing it.
So the trick for me was, starting out, it was just, I just wanted the thing to stick. I didn't care where in the board it hit. I just wanted it to stick. Once I could get it to stick pretty consistently, then I started thinking about, well, what if I aim, and what if I release here or turn this way or whatever. So, but yeah, so that was surprisingly a whole lot more fun than I thought it was going to be.
It's funny. It's funny.
And it almost qualifies as exercise, right? Because you kind of got the whole body motion thing that you're doing there.
Yeah.
And then you have to walk down the lane and pick up your axe or pull it out of the board and then walk back. So, that's more worthwhile walking than golfing, in my opinion.
Oh man, some stories, I tell you.
Yeah, what other sports can we trash while we're at it?
Yeah. Well, what? Everybody has their favorite sports, and
yep.
And the ones that they don't like, everybody does. And I didn't know that you felt that way. That's funny. It makes me laugh because, once again, it's like hearing myself speak. And it's so funny how many similarities you and I have. You and I are almost like brother and sister than anything. It's hard to, as we continue to get to know each other, even though we've known each other before, we certainly haven't collaborated or been around each other on the level that we have recently. And it's just amazing how much continues to come out. I mean, like, I'll tell the wife, I said, you know what? It was almost like I was listening to myself. And she goes,
be very afraid.
Well, how do you like that? She said, you ought to try being on this end for a change. I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel sorry for your wife if we ever all get together. She's going to get it double-barreled.
I'll have to hide the guns. She may come back and shoot us.
That would not be good.
That would not be good. So, but no, the thing is, when we get together in the live event, you and I got to be careful because we can go off the rails real fast. You're going to have to be like, Rob, you got to stay on topic here, dude.
Yeah.
And
well, I'll end up reining you back. It's like, and this is the Freelance Friday portion of our live event.
Yeah, there you go.
Now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Scheduled program. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, we got a lot of work to do between now and then in regards to that. I know you know that. I'm not going to go down that road at this particular moment. But, yeah, we certainly have, because we got to lay out who's going to speak when and what they're going to cover. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And I'm sure in the beginning, it'll be just you and I and probably 3 or 4 other people that will handle other aspects of the event. And we'll bring on guests as we do more events, because just for anybody that even cares, what we want to do in the beginning of these live events is that we want to get this information to you guys. It's easy to entertain you by bringing in other people. Miss Marie, if you and I were to say, so-and-so is going to be a guest speaker, and so-and-so is going to be this, and so-and-so is going to be that, we're giving up time we can't get back. We're giving up time that we would use effectively to train people properly. Then, and we can't get that time back. So if we give up that time to somebody else, what kind of value are they bringing? And are they getting us off course? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we got to, in the beginning, we got to get not only our own feet under us and figure out, okay, that didn't work or this worked, or, hey, we got to cut this short and we can stick somebody in that slot without, interrupting the training aspect of it for the most part. You get my point. In the beginning, the first couple, I don't think we're going to have the ability to have a guest speaker because we're not really sure how things are going to unfold until we do a couple, and then we can start identifying open spots where we can slide somebody in there. Would you agree?
Well, I absolutely agree. And I think, I've gone to events for, particular coaches and stuff, and it's because I've been following them. I value what they bring to the table. I want to learn more from them. And I remember there was one, and I'm not gonna name them because that's really not cool. But I went to one of their, kind of like one-day events, and I was looking forward to getting more knowledge from this particular individual. And it ended up being a smattering of other people that I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I don't really care what they have to say. And I got like an hour presentation from the person that I was really interested in hearing from.
You had to sit through all that?
For me, that was super frustrating.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So I think, if people have been listening to what we've been doing on the podcast, they hear what we've been bringing, they hear, kind of the topics we touch on, they want more of the in-depth. They want to know more of the nuts and bolts, exactly how to make it work, exactly how to, build their organization, exactly how to attain the success that they're after. And obviously, I think you and I can bring that and bring high value on our own without adding in any type of fluff. And I know, down the road, if and when we do bring in guest speakers, they will be high value as well. We're not the fluff and pomp and circumstance type. So.
I know, to say the least. No, we are not.
Exactly.
But that's not a good thing. I mean, not a bad thing.
Right. Well, and this way, people know what to expect.
Yes.
If you come in with an expectation that you're going to hear from Rob and Marie, that's exactly what you're going to hear from. It's not like you're going to show up and all of a sudden you've got, Billy Bob McAllister talking about his experience in network marketing. And you're like, I don't know who that is. It doesn't make sense. It may not even relate to some of the things, we've been teaching. So
I know it. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it'll be good. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I think we ought to maybe get offline here and talk in a little bit more detail about some of the planning we need to do, because live event coming up. We always talk about it. Go to MLMmastersacademy.com and register for notifications if you haven't done that already. No shenanigans, no cost at this time, no salesy stuff out there. It's just so we can notify you as we get things put together. You will be among the first to know where we're going to have the live event, when it's going to be, all the important information. Plus, we have that extra special VIP treatment for the very first 100 people who register on the site and attend the event. So you may be, registrant number 502 on the site, but you could still be among the first 100 who actually attend the event and get that VIP treatment. So even though we've been getting good response and registrations coming in, MLMmastersacademy.com, take a quick 2 minutes, go do that if you haven't already, and you will be on our extra special people list.
Yep. And I want to clarify something real quick. And thank you for doing that. You did a wonderful job as usual. And I want to clarify what she's saying, guys. Look, as we go past 100 registrants, I want you guys to know that we'll be picking our 100 people out of 200 registrants, okay? Just because we get to 100 doesn't mean that the registration stops. We are going to get as many registrants as we can, 200, 300, 400 people. Our venue, we don't know what size it's going to be, and we may only be able to take 150, 160, 220. We don't know yet, do we, Miss Marie?
We don't.
There may be restrictions on the number of people we have in there, so we are kind of up in the air, and we may just, in fact, instead of saying, it's the reason why we use the term the first 100 people to register and attend. It's because we may pull names out of a hat, and it could come out of a hat that has 400 entries in it. Okay. And if we pull 100 names and invite those people, 100 has to show up. In other words, approve, put money down, whatever you want to call it, or show us a plane ticket receipt, whatever, to verify that, yes, they are going to be one of those 100 so that we could set up the VIP treatment. Otherwise, we're shooting in the dark. So don't think, well, they've already got 100 people. No, don't look at it that way. We have got to continue to add people because we don't know just how big the venue is going to be yet. Right, Miss Marie?
That is correct.
So I just wanted to bring that up. Thank you for doing that little promo there, or whatever you call it, commercial. I'm not sure what title to put on it. But anyway.
Information sharing.
Infomercial, I guess, right?
It's edutainment.
There you go.
Educational entertainment.
There we go. All right, guys. I think, Miss Marie, I think we're pretty much done. As always, on Freelance Fridays, we have no set timetable. We just talk till we're done talking. I think we're done.
Sounds good.
Hey, I think you did a wonderful job putting the subject matters together. Thank you so much. We had really great episodes this week, and I mean that sincerely. Guys, you want to go back and review this week, actually last 3 weeks, because she has put together a wonderful, very in-depth look at many aspects of the business building process. And I'm telling you, we put out a lot of great content from day one. But here's the thing. We've really been turning up the heat in the last 3 weeks on content that, to be honest with you, have a huge impact. And I know that I say that sometimes a lot. That's because of things we teach, especially kind of the hidden gems, if you will. It's the little things you do, Miss Marie. Everybody can do the 5 simple steps. But as your business grows, it's the little things that you do. It's understanding, hey, I'm supposed to step up here. Hey, I'm supposed to do that over here. Hey, this is how you do this. This is what you say, because you may push people away, right? It's the little things that really cause your business to take off. Would you not agree?
I absolutely agree.
And that's the reason why she's coming up with these. That's the reason why I say, without any hyperbole?
Hyperbole, yes.
And infused in those statements that, hey, go and listen to the last 3 weeks' episodes. They're probably some of the best that we've put out. I feel that way without any hesitation whatsoever. Okay, now that being said, Monday's subject, do you know what it is?
Monday, we are going to talk about the resource that is your MLM company. Or you could reverse it, the MLM company as a resource. There's aspects to leveraging your MLM company's resources for your business that you need to take advantage of. So we're going to be going into that in more detail on Monday.
Well,
actually,
there's the prime example.
It's a topic we kind of touched on this past week, and I was like, oh, you know what? We need to talk about that some more.
There you go. Right there in the ticker for all you that watching the video podcast or whatever they call it. There's the subject, the resource that is your network marketing company. And if that's not proof that we don't talk, because I have to ask her spot on, she has to be prepared. We had no discussion with it, did we? Nothing.
Nope. Although I knew the question was coming because it's Friday.
Well, you would have brought it up if I forgot it.
That is true.
But you would think I would ask that before we got on the air. But there again, it just goes to show, guys, it's a living proof, real-time example that we do not talk. Although she wants to talk afterwards, which I'm excited about. All right, with that being said, guys, we'll see you Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always, on our YouTube channel, Facebook page. Please utilize our hashtag, the MLM Solution, hashtag the MLM Solution, to share our podcast, website, products, etc., with our fellow network marketers all across the globe. Look, they have the right to the same information that you are being exposed to, so that they can become empowered to do great things with this wonderful business model. You can be a part of that positive process by simply sharing. If you go to our website, themlmsolution.net, please hit the share button there as well. Have anything to add, Miss Marie?
I do not. Have a great weekend, everyone. Look forward to seeing you Monday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern.
All right, sounds good. Take care, everybody. God bless.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. Download our podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast platforms. Visit our website at www.themlmsolution.net for additional important information, show details, and past shows. Follow us on Parler, Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, or the get notified button while visiting our other social media platforms.